Hello, little ones. As the day draws to a close, it's story time, I suppose. So snuggle up and cuddle in. The story time will soon begin. So, here we go. Today's story is Puss in Boots. Yes, indeed. This copy was published by Miles Kelly, and it's illustrated by Widdowson. No, not K. Widdowson. Now, this version, of course, belongs to the publisher, and if you like the story, there's nothing better than have it read to you by your very own mummy, daddy, or big person, and they can get it from the library or your local bookshop. So, here we go. The Tale of Puss in Boots. There once was a miller who had 3 sons. When he died, he left the mill to his eldest son, a donkey to his middle son, and the youngest son was given the miller's cat. "What am I supposed to do with a cat?" he said. Imagine his surprise when the Puss replied, "Give me some boots and a bag and you'll see." There they are, look, all with everything they were given. So, the youngest son gave Puss some boots and a bag. Puss went to a field, put the carrots in the bag, then he hid in the grass. Before long, a rabbit hopped into the bag, tempted by the carrots. Off ran Puss to the palace, where he offered the rabbit to the king as a gift from the Marquis of Carabas. The king was delighted. There we go, look, he's putting the carrots in, and the Marquis of Carabas. Here we go. The next day, Puss said to the miller's son, "Come to the river and help me fish." Puss knew the king would be driving by in his carriage. "Quick, get into the water," said Puss. The miller's son did just as the carriage was passing by. Then the Puss hid his master's clothes. Look at him in the water, the carriage passing by. "Stop!" cried Puss as he ran in front of the carriage. "My master, the Marquis of Carabas, has been robbed. Thieves stole his clothes as he swam in the river." The king ordered fine clothes to be brought for the miller's son. Then he was invited to ride in the carriage with the king and the princess. Look at those fancy clothes. Aren't they posh? In the meantime, Puss ran ahead of the carriage. He met some workers gathering hay in the fields. "When the king's carriage drives by, the king will ask who owns this land," said Puss. "Say it belongs to the Marquis of Carabas." Sure enough, that's what happened, and the king was impressed. There they are, working in the fields. Once again, Puss ran ahead. He came to a big castle where he knew an ogre lived. Puss knocked loudly at the gate, and a servant let him in. Puss was taken to meet the ogre, and he bowed down low. "What do you want?" the ogre growled. Look at the ogre, isn't he horrible? What do you mean he looks like me? Terrible. Puss was scared, but he said, "I've heard you could do amazing magic, Mr. Ogre, and turn yourself into any animal. But can you turn yourself into a lion?" The ogre immediately became a roaring lion. Can you roar? Can you make a roaring noise? "It must be easy to turn into a big animal," said Puss. "I'm sure you could do a little one, like a mouse." So, outraged, the ogre did just that. Puss seized his chance and pounced, and that was the end of the ogre. There he is, as a mouse. What noise does a mousey make? Can you make the noise of a mousey? Here we go. The servants in the castle were very, very happy. They had been under the ogre's spell. Pleased to be free, they agreed to become servants of the Marquis of Carabas. Suddenly, Puss heard the king's castle approaching. "Prepare a feast for the king and the Marquis of Carabas," he said. Look, they're all happy, they're all celebrating, and the coach is fast approaching. The carriage stopped, and the king stepped out, amazed. "Welcome to the castle of the Marquis of Carabas," said Puss, bowing low. They all sat down to a huge feast. The miller's son and the princess had fallen in love. The king offered the Marquis of Carabas his daughter's hand in marriage. The next day, the princess and the miller's son were married. Puss was very pleased as his plan had worked out. Look, there they are, getting married. Woohoo! Congratulations! Puss spent the rest of his days living in luxury, and the only time he ever chased mice was for his own amusement. There you go. Look at him, living it up. The end. There we go. Now it is bedtime. Sleep tight, and I'll see you soon. Night night.